I asked the Lord, like, what's our theme supposed to be? What is this supposed to look like? And I just got the word rumble. And all I knew of the word rumble was, let's get ready to rumble! And I was like, because my son was really into WWE, and I was like, okay. I don't really know that we can have like a WWE Sanctified Hope event. I don't know that that's really what we want to go with. So Lord, can you please help me out? Because I don't know how Rumble is really going to work for us. And so I think I misheard you. Can you help me out? And he said Rumble again. And so I decided to dig in on the word rumble and see what that, what are the definitions of rumble? And because he just kept saying the word rumble. So as I did my research, I came up with 3 meanings and that I had found. And the first one is, you guessed it, a fight. And it says, it's a fight, it's to take part in a street fight between or among teenage gangs. And I kept picturing the Jets and the Sharks, West Side Story meeting and before they started their little dance, right? Because I love that movie, right? And that's what I kept picturing in my mind. That was the first definition of rumble. So the second definition of rumble is to make a continuous, deep, resonant sound. And the third definition of rumble is a discussion, a conversation, or meeting defined by a commitment to lean into vulnerability, to stay curious, to stick with the messy, which was interesting. So when I read these definitions, I said, okay, Lord, can you show me how you want me to use rumble? Because that doesn't really make sense for an event. I'm a little lost here. Like, where do I go with these 3 definitions? And he began to reveal how each of these played a part into this evening. So the fight. Our ladies have had to fight.
Yes.
They've had to fight so hard to get where they are today. And they're still fighting. They're still fighting. And we are fighting alongside them. And they need you to fight with them too. Okay?
Yes.
So that's the fight. And then the deep rumbling sound. So this one came in pieces. This one came in 2 parts. At first, I saw a car show. Like how back in the day, they used to get together and all run their engines and listen to them rumble and rev. And it led me to the thought of this evening. And I was able to get our friends, the Parker County Cruisers, to come and have a little get-together out front for you this evening, right? And that was something that I just pictured in my head that I got as I started to think about rumbling, right? But then the second half of the low rumbling side was spoken to me just this past Friday when I was meeting with our MC, Miss September James, and we were talking about rumbling, and we were talking about the Lord and how he spoke, and he spoke this through her, and it went straight to my core, and I knew I was supposed to share it tonight. We were talking about how in the Word, when Ezekiel spoke to the dry bones, and they began to rattle and shake. And when that happened, when the dry bones, they began to rattle, the earth began to rumble. In the Bible, whenever it uses the word rumble, it uses it to describe 3 things. It uses it to describe God's voice, it uses it to describe the heavens, or it uses it to describe the earth's shaking. So we're talking about how these ladies' lives are like those dry bones.
Yeah.
Like those dry bones coming back to life, and how this ministry was created by the Lord to be a place that gives him, not us, him, the time and space to do that in them.
Yes.
So that's the second one, right? And the last meeting is a meeting. It's why we're all here this evening. We're gathering, we're meeting. Not just any meeting, but a discussion, a conversation, or meeting defined by a commitment to lean into a vulnerability, to stay curious, to stick with the messy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get a little vulnerable with you tonight. I'm going to share some of our wonderful victories, don't get me wrong, but also some messiness and some extreme needs. Of course, I'm going to start with the victories, because that's the fun part, right? So we're growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm excited to say that. Since our meeting here in this very room a year ago, almost exactly, God has brought us 13 more women to serve and help through this process. Yes, awesome. With 3 more coming next month alone. So we're excited about that. We have 24 on our approved list waiting to see parole to find out when they will be coming to us. Or they may already have seen parole and just be at different stages of their release. So they may all be almost on their way to us because they've already made parole and they're just in their process of finishing out their program that they've already made the parole. They just have to finish out that parole process. So, like I said, we're growing. Currently, we have 11 ladies in our home. And we have 18 beds total for them to use. So after these 3 more ladies get here, we will have 4 open spots until we reach capacity. This is a victory, but it can also be a challenge all at the same time. Another victory is that the Lord brought us a whole acre of land. Amen. That's a victory. There's an acre of land that was not for sale. That's a big one. And seemingly never was going to be. And we started as a staff, board, and advisory board praying for it fervently. The very next week, we received an email from our website email, just the one that you find on our website, from the owner of the land stating that he wanted to sell it to us. That is only something that the Lord will do. Yes. We want to be able to build, this is what we want to use that land for. We want to be able to build either tiny cottages or a 4 or 5-plex on it to be able to rent those out to our ladies after they have been a part of our after-grad program. The reason that we want to do this is because it's very hard for our ladies to find a place to rent when they complete our program due to their income as well as their backgrounds. With this option, we would have a property management run it, because we don't want to run a relationship with them if something goes the wrong direction. And it would give them a little bit of rental history, so maybe it would be easier to rent elsewhere once they have that built up. If it's run by a property management company, that would give them good rental history. We're not sure when this will happen. We're just waiting on the Lord's timing. One thing we are sure of is that He will move when it's time. Yes. Also last year, I shared that we were excited about hoping to begin a volunteer program. Well, we did it. We were able to hire our volunteer at the time, volunteer coordinator, Ms. Gail Wells, and she helps us to seek out volunteers, train them, and get them plugged in. This has been a huge blessing in addition to our staff. So we didn't have that person on staff last year, and we do now, and it has been a huge blessing to us. So now's the time to get messy. Speaking of those volunteers, with the huge growth, we need more. We have all of these ladies scheduled to come, and we need mentors for them, like Kathy shared about. If you can encourage someone and be their biggest cheerleader and just love them well, you can be a mentor. Unless you're a dude. Sorry. Even if you're the best cheerleader in the world, not going to happen. We're looking for spiritually mature women that can give about an hour and a half each week to come and do a study with one lady. We also need drivers. That's someone that will come and pick someone up for appointments, work drop-off, etc. We just have so many ladies going in so many different directions, we can't do it all by ourselves. This is where men come in. We also need men, or really handy ladies, because ladies can do this too, to come do handy work around our house, come mow or weed eat once a week. That's Janet, because right now it falls to her and she really needs some help.
Good timing.
We just need help, and you might be the one that the Lord is calling next to come help us. Our next messy area is that we're pretty positive the Lord is calling us to add on to our educational building. We have a huge need for this. We're out of meeting spaces for our mentors to meet with our ladies and our goals coaches to meet also. Currently, they meet in their bedrooms with them. But when there are two to a room, when our house is at capacity, there are two ladies in a room, and if one lady's meeting with her mentor, that means the other person in the room gets kicked out for 2 hours. That's not fun. So for as long as they meet, she can't go back in her room. So we need more meeting spaces. We also need an intimate classroom for our classes. The classes we have are designed where these ladies sometimes talk about really private situations and share vulnerably. If the class is held in the living room of the house and they're in a very delicate moment and then someone walks through in a hurry, like they're running to go get ready for work and they've got to go pack their lunch for work and they're having this really intimate moment in the classroom, it kind of breaks that up really quickly. And it's hard to go back to that. It's hard for the teacher to get back into that moment. So we need a closed off classroom where no interruptions will take place and intimate conversations can happen so healing can happen. This is what we believe the Lord has shown us is needed for our educational building expansion, and we believe it will happen this year. We already have about 25% of the funds raised for it. We just need to raise the rest. We also need the operational funds for all of these participants that God is bringing us. This is where He uses private donors, businesses, and churches just like you to provide. We have some churches that sponsor a participant at $400 for 6 months and send it in a lump sum. Some do it monthly. We have some that pay what they can per month. We have private donors, just ordinary people that give to us monthly, $50 or $100 per month. That is the giving that sustains us and keeps us running. And I'm here to say that we need more of you. If you have been touched tonight by Tiffany's story or these ladies' cardboard testimonies, I would ask you to pray about being one of these monthly givers. We have one single older lady that started giving $10 a month. Now that is a widow's mite. She gives because she believes in what we're doing, and she is giving what she's able to give. That is what we're asking of you, to ask the Lord what you are able to give. Now, if giving monthly isn't possible, then maybe it is a one-time gift. We really appreciate those as well. They're like a shot in the arm to help us get through the growing season. We need your support as well. We even have a matching gift challenge from an anonymous donor for anyone who's able to do a one-time matching gift. It's a large one. It's of $9,906. They wanted to challenge someone here this evening to match that gift. They said, but if you're not able to match that, that's okay. We're thankful for whatever you're able to give, as long as it is given from the heart.
Hey, Kim?
Yeah?
Excuse us.
Pat, go ahead. Okay.
We're gonna match it. We're gonna do $10.
We'd like to throw it out there for somebody else to match our 10,000.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Dean, I'd like to take her home with me. Don't kill her while
funny.
Okay, so it's been matched and challenged again.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Sanctified is blessed. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So, but if you're not able to match that, it's okay, but we're thankful for whatever you're able to give. As long as it's given from the heart. The word says the Lord loves a cheerful giver. There are envelopes on your table that no matter whether you give this evening or not, we would like you to fill them out and turn them in so we can capture your information that you were here. On that envelope, there is a place to indicate if you would like to give one time or monthly. And it does have a QR code for giving. If you don't have a check tonight and you want to give online, you can do that. There are also questions on that envelope for if you are interested in volunteering or having me possibly come to share about Sanctified Hope at your church or business or a group you belong to. We would love to be able to do that so that more people can hear about Sanctified Hope. So, I'm going to invite Elvis back on up, sing a song,